That's one piece. All of those are one piece. You can see from the bottom how that's one vein of chrysoprase coming through the matrix.
Look at that.
And they were able to carve around it.
The detail is really nice. Like there's some really fine lines in these.
Yeah, I'm trying to impress you.
Hey guys, welcome back to another unboxing. You've got Rebecca and Tom here. I understand Tom has some surprises to show us.
All kinds of surprises.
Super excited because he always brings really cool things. I say let's get started.
Let's do this.
A blushing beauty. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
The frogs. Okay, so obviously it's a carving of two frogs.
Yes.
When you see this color of like rose or blush, you think of things like rhodochrosite, rhodonite. I would say rhodonite.
Yep, rhodonite frogs.
So rhodonite is a really popular carving material. It was very popular in Russia. You'll see vases. I think we've talked about the sarcophagi before. The largest solid block of rhodonite ever found was 47 tons, and it was used to carve the sarcophagus of the Empress of Russia. It's tough but soft,
Yes.
so easy to carve.
And that's what you'll see out of most carved materials is they are softer. The earliest stuff that's ever been carved is like limestone, soapstone, the really soft stones that are easy to manipulate. I was really just taken by the design. I know
It's
frogs
so
are
cute.
really popular. The attention to detail on these are so good because like the lines between the toes, the little sensors behind the eyes, they've kind of thought of everything. A lot of what we're gonna see today, full disclosure, came from a place, this has been in their inventory for probably close to 40 to 45 years.
So it's been in a collection and we acquired this collection, Is that, okay.
Yes, they're one-onlys and they're really beautiful carvings out of unique materials.
That's the thing I love about carvings, they're unique. Okay, wait, so price, how much is this? I have no concept for value on this one.
Extremely inexpensive, I'll say that from a collector's standpoint. And I'll be completely honest with you, off the top of my head, I have no idea the price. Because I brought back probably 300 different items from this one, buying trip. So it's a big jumble of numbers in my head. It'll be in the links though.
Okay, almost everything that you're gonna see on this episode is for sale. So we will put the links in the description and you should definitely check those out.
And you are getting the first look at all of these.
Oh, this is the debut. This is new to our inventory.
So everything that we're gonna see today is carvings, different materials. You already did great with the rhodonite. I'd like to see if you can guess the other ones.
Okay, I love games, so bring it on.
Next box.
All right, I'm ready. One of the world's most mysterious and sacred gems. Ooh, okay. There's only really one gem that kind of looks like this. This is jadeite.
Jadeite, yes. Really nice, undyed, which is
Ooh,
pretty big deal.
yeah.
This is a Kuan Yin carving, ancient figurine. And what's the first thing you notice? We keep grabbing it and touching it.
It's cold.
It's
It
so
feels
cold.
it's like really refreshing. So people would use jade, like jade rollers for circulation, and that coolness is, really good for your skin.
Yeah, and that was the first thing I did was when I felt how cold it was, I put it up against my cheek.
Yeah.
That's just gemology training. They always tell you test it against your cheek to see, the temperature difference because thermal conductivity, it really is something that you use to check to see if you have something that's real, fake, what it
Yeah.
might be. But I think these are absolutely gorgeous.
So the clue said sacred.
Yes.
So jade, again, a tough material, but a soft material, is still used for carvings in a lot of Eastern countries. You're gonna get carvings of deities. And so you have a deity here. A very renowned locality is Myanmar or Burma. Access to Burmese material is extremely limited, and so that's another way you can know that these are from quite some time ago because you couldn't get these today.
No, not at all. And one of the things to look at, I think with this carving in particular that you can see, it's not uniformly saturated. That kind of lets you know that the color is natural. And it's got that really nice waxy luster to it.
When people think of jadeite, they often think of green. Of course, it can come in green, white, this nice lavender color, and none of these are treated, which is worth noting, particularly the saturation on that one is awesome.
Yeah.
Like that is very good color because a lot of the jade that you see on the market is gonna be treated, usually dyed to give it that more vibrant color.
So when you buy buy a piece of jade, like the rock, they only polish out one small window that you can see what it looks like underneath. And then you have to purchase it based on that window. You don't see anything else. So you're taking a literal gamble with this stuff.
Yeah, which makes that really impressive. The detail is really nice. Like there's some really fine lines in these.
Yeah, with
fun
material like this, it's the best carver that they're gonna give it to. It
True.
won't be a novice. It's gonna be the best of the best.
True.
All right, you ready for the next one?
I'm ready.
Okay.
A cryptic gem known by many names. Oh, okay, I think I know what this is. There's a lot in here. Okay, this is the cutest thing.
So the thing to note too, with the chrysoprase ones on Matrix, that's one piece. All of those are one piece. They're not chrysoprase mounted on top of calcite.
That is cool.
So you can see here, and you'll be able to see on the more detailed shots, you can see the gap between the paws. There's matrix on the chest. Probably ironstone matrix is my guess.
Got it.
It's all one piece.
Okay, that is so
And
cool.
freestanding. And then when you come to this one with the monkey, you can see from the bottom how that's one vein of chrysoprase coming through the matrix.
Look at that.
And they were able to carve around it.
That is so cool.
I'm telling you, Tom Joyce brings the heat
Tom brings
when he
the
comes
heat.
on these shows.
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying
It
to
is.
impress you.
Okay, they're so cute.
The biggest takeaway from me with these is all the attention to detail, even on the feet of the koala, where it almost looks sharp like it would be grabbing to hold on to. Some of this stuff is extremely old, so I kind of look like it's almost like we're bringing stuff back out of retirement.
Like me.
Yeah.
The hatch marks on this lizard, can you imagine right before starting all of those? That would have taken some good amount of time.
And I think the great thing about the koala bear is chrysoprase and this material all came from Australia. So this is almost paying homage to where it came from.
I think this one is just way unique. Whoever carved this thought, okay, it's kind of like it's peeking out like around the tree.
And the way the material lightens as it goes up,
Yeah.
so it goes from that really rich green color at the base all the way up to almost that really light greenish blue at the top. It's a beautiful piece.
Honestly, I'm still not sure why the clue says it's cryptic, but the reason why the clue said it goes by so many names is because chrysoprase is a type of chalcedony. Chalcedony is a type of cryptocrystalline.
You just figured it out.
Let's cut that.
No, I say leave it in.
So cryptocrystalline quartz, which basically means very, very, very small particles. They're masses of crystals. That is too cool. I love that. I'm gonna keep these on my side. Okay, next box. Oh, this is a poem. Copper's touch, a color so rare, like tropical waters amidst desert air. So I'm gonna say this is blue. Copper often causes blue or green. Yeah. I'm gonna call this turquoise.
I think that's a pretty good guess.
So the color obviously is the first thing that kind of screamed. It has maybe what one would call a turquoise hue. But the second thing is the luster. It has that kind of waxy luster.
Yeah. Well, I know my carving is lovebirds.
Oh, okay, mine is a lonely bird.
A lonely bird. Oh no. I like this one a lot because you can see the matrix in it. They've hidden it very well on the back.
Yeah.
But it's great too because you can see all the matrices below the polishing surface, which is a pretty good indication natural material. Turquoise is one of those materials that there's a reason they stabilize it and it's so it doesn't fall apart. So for them to carve all these holes in it
It's so true.
and to make these gaps and it didn't fall apart and break when they're doing it, pretty tough material.
Yeah, that is a great point. You have all of these really fine lines going into here. These are super cute.
And definitely check the links on these because one of these two is Sleeping Beauty material. I can't remember which one it is.
Which means it is from the southwestern United States.
Yep. One important thing to know is that a lot of these mines, especially like Sleeping Beauty, it's either completely out of production right now or the production is so limited this isn't the material that's coming out.
Yeah.
And so far, everything that we've shown is available for sale. They're all one-onlys and very hard to replace.
Yeah.
All right, next box.
Alrighty. Like some pearls, I am also grown from a seed. It's kind of intriguing. Oh, I know what this is. It's a tagua nut. A lot of people use this as an alternative to ivory. It's a nut, obviously. This is a little bit richer of a yellow, I would say, than most ivories, but I just love how it has the nut attached to it.
Yeah, this really does look like ivory in the sense of very old aged ivory.
Yeah, it's very light.
Is it? Yeah, wow. It's really beautiful. It's really smooth, has a good luster, and wow, it takes detail very well.
It's this whale, like enveloping the two baby whales. I think that's so pretty. It's also used in place of plastic. We have plastic buttons.
Where does this nut come from? Like, is it a cashew? Is it a legume? What do we got
It's
here?
a pretty big cashew. Tagua nuts are the seeds of certain palm trees, found in Ecuador mostly. That's why it's being used in lieu of plastics, because it's sustainable. It's a natural material. It can be grown healthily and it's good for the environment, but it is a kind of niche gem material.
Absolutely, and in a pinch, it's a source of protein.
Okay, Tom, as you know, we always take a closer look on this channel. You're the guest, so I'm gonna let you go first.
It's not easy for me because outside of the Tagua nut, the vegetable ivory, I picked all these out.
True.
So I'm in love with all of them. If I really had to do it, I think we're probably gonna pick the same thing, and it's gonna be the monkey.
It's so cute. You're right. That was mine too.
The translucency or the semi-translucency that comes through on the head and the back, the color is just so unique to the material. It looks like the finest gem silica. Just the fact that they were able to fashion out a vein of chrysoprase coming out of matrix
It's
to
too
make
cool.
that. Yeah, it really is one of a kind.
So take a closer look. Thank you so much for just having the eye to pick these out and to bring these back to us. And again, this is their debut, so you're the first to see these. And as a reminder, if you want to purchase these, most of these, we'll include the links in the description below. And if you get one, let us know, because we just love sharing these things with
The
you.
quicker you buy it, the quicker I can go back and get more.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Thanks for watching.